What's good, YouTube? It's jazzlovesmma here, and I'm going to be doing my full card predictions for UFC Shanghai. Song Yadong versus Umar Nurmagomedov, or Umar Nurmagomedov versus Song Yadong. Starting with the first fight of the night, Meng versus Cam Nelson. I don't remember. I did predictions for UFC Macau. Meng, Meng was on there. Um, He has like 50 fights almost, I think. He has like 45 fights. This is gonna be his 46th. Cam Nelson is like some random dude they brought on. I don't think he has any good wins. So I'm just gonna be picking Meng. He was looking okay against what was the guy he fought? He fought Enrique Souza, I think that guy's name was. And he was chewing the leg well. And he kind of fought dumb. I'm gonna chop that down to the dude was tall as shit. He was really tall and lanky. And I don't know if Cam Nelson is gonna have that size that Enrique had. But Meng was doing well to chop the low kicks. He was landing some decent punches. But he didn't look that good. But I'm gonna assume he's gonna come into this one, make some adjustments. This is our future welterweight GOAT. We are team Meng. We will ride into the sunset with Meng. And yeah, I don't have an in-depth breakdown of this, but he looked okay technically against Souza, or whatever that guy's name was, the tall Brazilian. And I think he'll chin Cam Nelson, maybe. He has some decent pop in his hands. They really let the hands go against that dude, but maybe he'll feel more comfortable after his UFC debut. Jingnan versus Julia Polastri, both coming off losses. Xiong lost to Angela Hill by decision. Got beat all 3 rounds, I believe. I missed this. It was UFC Macau. I was asleep. I was like, I really don't care for this fight. I woke up for Tsuruya versus Guru, and I didn't watch this fight. But I saw some highlights, heard some people talk about it, and it sounded like John just kind of got pieced the fuck up. Julia Polastri lost to Umar, I believe, some short Brazilian woman. And man, Julia Polastri fought dumb as fuck as that fight. Just doesn't fire punches when she needs to. She can put on volume. She does have some decent heat in her hands, and she really just lost that decision due to her just not pushing. I think maybe in this one she'll want to bounce back. She'll want to beat the Chinese woman in her hometown and get this huge win. I do just rate Julia Polastri as well. She had a decent performance against Levi Rodriguez where she got out grappled. She really only loses fights where she's kind of getting grappled, and I don't think that's going to happen here. I think this will be very close. It's probably going to be like a 29-28 split, but I'm going to lean Julia Polastri here. I like the work she does. I think she does rip it up to the body. I think that's how she TK'd that Polish woman. She was setting up to the body, and then she was cracking her upstairs. She is Psycho. I think that's her name. Julia Psycho Polastri or something similar to that. Yeah, I think she'll get the KO here. No, not KO. Sorry, she'll get the decision. You have to say about the KO she got against that Polish woman. Lawrence Louis versus Hector Santiago. Lawrence Louis coming off the road to UFC finale. I think that's what he did, and he beat some other Chinese dude, or no, didn't beat some other. He's not Chinese. He's New Zealand. And I think he just won with the grappling and some decent clinch exchanges. And I think he's just gonna win a decision here via the grappling. His grappling's pretty good, from what I remember. And yeah, and he does work in the clinch here and there. So he's not just like gonna smudge. He will work in the clinch, knees and elbows. He trains at CKB. It's a good gym. And yeah, damn, dude, he's a bantamweight. I feel like I remember him looking like a featherweight, but yeah, he has one of the worst haircuts though. It doesn't show here because I think this is from his last fight, but it's growing out his hair. It looks awful. Hector Santiago. I don't even know what that is. I think he just has a couple losses on the record. Xiao Long. Oh yeah, I'm picking Lawrence Louis to just dominate by the grappling. He fought someone decent on road to UFC finale, so I think he can get another one here. But they probably just outworking decision. Xiao Long versus Francesco Nuzzi. If you guys have been following the channel or been following my Twitter for a while, you'll know at UFC 326 when I started making YouTube videos, I was aboard the Xiao Long train. Um, I said that he was the one of the most exciting fighters on the roster. I said he's gonna chin Cody Garbrandt. He's gonna be the next big thing. I was close. He technically, I think he got robbed against Cody. I think he got robbed against Cody, and they're giving him a layup here against some random Italian dude off um, Cage Warriors. But Zhao Long is pretty defensively unsafe. He fought he fought Cody in a decently smart way. He was kind of, I think he was trying to set up Cody like TJ Dillashaw. Did both just out low kicking and then looking for the high kick. I think he stung Cody out in a moment. And in his couple fights, I can't remember their guys' names because all like the Korean fighters and stuff, some of their names kind of just fuse together in my mind. And I don't want to mess it up. Like, he will get into a brawl, but he builds. He'll take damage. He doesn't really get colded. I think he dropped Cody in the first. Maybe that was what he dropped him slightly with a head kick or something like that. Then in the second one, he gets dropped by a fucking headbutt. I'm still mad about this performance, by the way. I'm still mad at Cody Garbrandt for that stupid ass shit. I was super happy when I watched him get killed by Yanez. but Jalong's like a marauder. He didn't do in that fight. I don't know what maybe he was like really worried of the speed and the power of Cody, but Cody didn't want to fight. Even like before the nut shots, he clearly didn't want to fight. Because I don't know how the scorecards gave him the fight, but Xiaolong's good. He's decent. He has this marauder energy. He will sit in the pocket and just fire fucking elbows. He'll eat your shots and fire back. He doesn't really get dropped. Like, you look at the size of his head. He's a Chinese blockhead. He has decent power, but like he's not a finisher. And I think he'll take this guy to a close 29-28 decision. Nuzzi, I tried looking at the record. Didn't have anyone that impressed me, but Zhao Long isn't really that too impressive himself. His only win in the UFC being Quang Li, and the Quang Li is not the best to say. Jack Jenkins versus Sean. I'm picking Zhao Long by decision. Jack Jenkins versus Sean Woodson. Dude, I literally just went on a rant for about Jack Long and barely talked about the fight. But Jack Jenkins coming off the. Oh man, who did he beat? Man, I'm really fading on these guys. Some of these guys' names. I'm gonna pull it up now because it's a fight I actually care about, and I think it'll be important to look at. But Sean Woodson coming out the Dan Ige KO. He's been out for like a little bit over a year, and he was looking okay. He was doing decent with the volume, but eventually the power, he got rocked over and over again by the big meaty overhand of Ige, and that just wasn't a good look for him. Referee stopped. It was a bit early. He could have stood in there, but yeah. He does well. He has decent pop in his hands. He's not the biggest KO artist, but he will pitter pat to a decision if he needs to. But sometimes he will just sit down on his twos and find them. Jack Jenkins beat, I feel like it's Brad something. Ramon Tavares, that's right. Yeah. He was supposed to fight Marlon Rihiki earlier this year as well. I remember I had to fucking edit my video during that. But Jack Jenkins chops the low kicks well. He can mix it up against Ramon Tavares. He was mixing it up. He started getting some takedowns in the other rounds, in like rounds 3 and stuff. He has some decent boxing himself. He can mix it up to the body. Looks good against Hector Souza. He was doing well against Gabriel Santos. I think he dropped him with a head kick, then he followed him to the ground. Then he wasted that round. He eventually got front kicked and hurt and then subbed. And I rate Gabriel Santos. He's a really good guy. He's a really good fighter. And I think he has more ranked potential than Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson is tall. Maybe you can find some similar shots that Santos did, but I think Jack will be able to chop low on the lanky legs of Sean Woodson. I've seen people compare this to Cowie Fernandez versus Jalen Turner, and if I see the comparison because Jack Jenkins is the low kick guy, he fucking breaks people's bones and stuff. Sorry to drink some water, but he has decent boxing. Cowie Fernandez doesn't. Cowie Fernandez does just fight with his hands down. Jack Jenkins keeps like a nice little high and tight guard. You throw a decent 1-2. You throw some good hooks. And yeah, I could see him probably maybe just winning a decision, and where Sean Woodson like pitter pats him for a little bit, then he gets to all the big moments. But I think he'll get like a round 2 TKO. I think he'll chop, and then I think he'll eventually find the right hand over the top on Sean Woodson, and hopefully he doesn't fumble it like he did against Santos. I think he almost fumbled a KO against Brad Ramon Tavares. I keep wanting to call him Brad, but Ramon Tavares. Like in round 1 he had him hurt a whole bunch, even in round 2, and then he eventually just started looking for the grappling. But I think he should be able to get a TKO here with Sean Woodson. It's a tricky matchup though. Moving up to Ray Tsuruya versus Kevin Borjas. Borjas coming off the decision win over one of my favorite prospects, Andre Lima. What a scumbag Borjas is. He's facing Ray Tsuruya. Ray Tsuruya coming off the Louis Gruel round 1 submission. And did he get another win before that? No, that's why I have to watch you. Let's check. I don't think he is. I think he was his first fight back. It must have not been since Joshua Van. It was his first fight back since Joshua Van. He looked good, dominated. I think Louis Gruel was coming in short notice though, so that is something to think about. And I think he's gonna win this. I don't know how Borjas is going to look against someone who's trying to grapple him. We've only really seen him against strikers. I think Lima tried shooting on him. He did well to defend the takedowns. So maybe that's something. He does have pop in his hands, right? So I can see him round 1 it being tricky for Ray Tsuruya. Maybe he gets cracked or something, but I think eventually he'll get Borjas down. I don't think he should be minus 650, but Borjas can fumble a win, or you can fumble just a performance while like having like a really good performance and just looking utter shit. So I think Tsuruya could either just smudge to a decision here, or you could find like a round 1 or 2 submission after getting hurt and then coming back. I think that's what's gonna happen. Round 1 he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get cracked by the lead hook, I believe. Borjas likes to spam the left hook. I can see him getting cracked by the left hook early. 3-2 hurts Tsuruya. Tsuruya survives with the grappling, and he gets a sub or just takes over and keeps dominating Borjas to a decision. Because he also doesn't just shoot wrestling; like he has some decent scrambles. He can look for trips and stuff like inside trips. So I think that's what Tsuruya would do here. Namsrai, Batbayar. I'm not pronouncing this guy's name right. Versus, speaking of the dude, Andre Lima. Andre Lima. You've disappointed me, man. You've disappointed me. But I'm not off the hype train. This is another dude who I was fucking hyping up in my video, hyping up on Twitter. And he fucking goes out there and fucking gets 28'd by Kevin Borjas. Lima's a good kickboxer. He's well-rounded. He has some pretty good wrestling and jiu-jitsu where he's able to control the back and stuff. He hasn't really shown subs in the UFC, but he's shown some decent just offensive grappling. Not like for finishes, but Felipe Dos Santos, he dominated. Not dominated, but he beat like quite easily with the grappling. His kickboxing is pretty good. When he... I've seen people talk about this on Twitter. I think I made a reply to somebody as well. There's a certain type of fighter that when they pressure and they put out volume is when they do good. And Andre Lima is the type of dude who, if he just put volume and wasn't so low output, he would look so much more impressive and he'd probably be so much more hyped up right now. Because against Borjas, he lost because he was just letting Borjas throw a 4-piece and then Lima would throw a fucking jab or a low kick. And that just wasn't doing it. He was walking him down. Maybe the shots were landing on the shoulders and the guard. Some of them were. But when you're throwing nothing back and you're just throwing 1 for 1 and he's throwing 4 for your 1, that's how you're gonna lose the decision. And that's Andre Lima's style. Hopefully, he was on Twitter, he was on Instagram, making videos of people like running away from him, like his training partners running away from him. Hopefully, that's not the mentality he's coming in here with, where he doesn't try to improve and he's just fighting the same fight. He's just kind of outpointing and outstriking, not ripping body shots or ripping shots upstairs or putting combinations. He's pretty nasty elbows. Against fucking Byron, he looked phenomenal because he was putting output out there. But maybe it's if you get respect early, he'll die down. But not really because he went to a low output decision against fucking Mitch Raposa. But Namsrai, I don't know who this is necessarily. Um, I think he was on Road to UFC. He had some pretty impressive finishes. I've seen the highlights. He got pretty nasty slam outs. But Andre Lima's tested in the UFC. He's fought a couple guys already. He's had a couple fights. He's now lost for the first time in his professional career. He's making a decently quick comeback. He's kind of been inactive in the UFC. Um, Not to his fault, right? I think this is um I think he was supposed to fight this dude in China, maybe. No, maybe not. I think he was supposed to fight someone else. He was supposed to fight somebody else on the on the Canada card. I don't know why the fuck I fucked that up so bad. But yeah, he was supposed to fight some dude from Contender Series on the Canada card, Winnipeg. That got delayed. He fought Borjas. And yeah. So the short note, like the inactivity, I don't think has been his fault, but hopefully he has a good weight cut. Lima. It kind of looked like he was a little drained in the Borjas, so I'm not making excuses, but I'm making excuses. So yeah, I can see this just being a decision. Maybe Namsrai comes out there, just swarms Lima in his, you know, low output style, is able to beat him. Maybe gets finds a big shot. You know, Borjas was able to find the left hook and stuff. Would rip left hooks to the body, but Lima keeps that high and tight Muay Thai guard. Him and Padilla, I feel like I saw someone make that comparison, where him and Padilla just they're both fighters that they just don't do enough. But Padilla will. Padilla will just middle of a fight if it's too close, and he'll look for a shot to make it just enough. He will start pouring on volume. Again, Jack Herbert's a tricky style for him. Tall, lanky. He still got the win. So, yeah, hope Lima comes out here with volume, to beat this dude by. I think it'll be decision. I don't think he'll finish. He'll get a finish here. It could be. I can see it being a low output decision. Bilal Hassan coming off Dana White Contender Series, getting the first round slime against that Indian dude versus Nilson Rojas. Peruvian dude had some actually fought some decent competition on the regionals. Um, Not regional. I say regionals, but just outside the UFC because he's not fighting on fucking like his local MMA promotion. He's like just fighting outside the UFC. I'm gonna pick Bilal Hassan. I'm not gonna pick him by KO. I think it's gonna be the real big. Like they're both 9-0. I don't think he should be minus 800. I get it. We don't know who Rojas is, but Hassan is literally only minus 800 because we know who he is. If I'm being honest, I'll pick Bilal Hassan by decision. I think Rojas will shock some people. I don't think this is not like Chapman versus Wentz. This is like they actually got like a decent prospect of outside the UFC. And yeah, Bilal Hassan is really good though. He's very fast. He's very technical, and I don't know if I could just trust Rojas, who I don't even know, to like beat this dude. I don't think he's gonna be the dude to fraud check Hassan. You know, I think he'll take someone who's like experienced and already been in the UFC for a while to do that. So I think Bilal Hassan might not get maybe he gets like a round 2 KO or something like that. But I think I'm gonna pick him by decision here. Liu Ce versus Levi Rodriguez. Levi literally fought a couple weeks ago. I did a projection video on him, and he doesn't have a pick for some reason. Liu Ce is a kickboxer. He's a Chinese kickboxer. He was supposed to fight Justin Taffa. He honestly might have just fucking. I think he would have dusted up Justin Taffa with low kicks. But he's fighting Levi Rodriguez here, who lost to Felipe Franco. Levi Rodriguez is also popped. And I picked against him against Felipe Franco because I thought that Franco was just better, and I thought he looked good against Pinto, and Rodriguez was still tagging up Franco until he shot a takedown, and he was getting it, and like they would be in the brawl, and then he would time his takedowns really good, and I don't know if Lucy is gonna be able to. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right. Lucy. I don't know if he's going to be able to just mix it up. I don't think that's what he's going to be able to do. And I'm going to pick Levi Rodriguez to get a decision here, unironically. I think he'll get a decision against this kickboxer. I can see it being a pretty decently boring fight. or Rodriguez like maybe smudging him. And yeah, I'm gonna trust in the underdog of Levi Rodriguez, this fucking fat Brazilian dude. I'm probably gonna be wrong. He's probably gonna get pieced up by this kickboxer, but I'm gonna pick Levi Rodriguez to just be more well rounded. I don't know how much I can trust a random kickboxer off. I don't even know what promotion he fought at. Alex Perez versus Sumer. Oh yeah, I'm picking Levi Rodriguez by decision. Alex Perez versus Sumudaerji. This is the rematch. First fight was a no contest. Um, I picked Alex Perez in their first fight. Oh, mouth is super dry. I don't know if there's video. I don't know why. How many more fights do I have to do? Fuck, 4 more. Oh my god, I gotta talk so much about that. I think Alex Perez was doing some decent work in the first fight. I don't like how. Well, I think when Sumudaerji would go southpaw, and he would charge him with that right hook over the top. Sumudaerji was doing well just to survive. Are they both ranked 11? What the fuck's going on here? Anyway, I don't know what's going on there. Is this like the meta rankings? Are they using meta rankings? I don't know if they are. That's weird. Um, but yeah, I think Perez can still do that. I think he can still mix it up well. It is worrying because Sumudaerji did drop him in that second round, but he looked like he recovered well before the nut strike was getting his whereabouts back. And I think he can make adjustments. They both can. Tsuruya is the younger dude. He's the one who's seemingly growing fight to fight, but I'm going to pick Alex Perez. I really trust he has decent low kicks. And he didn't look like how he looked against Charles Johnson. He wasn't timing the hooks right. He wasn't popping out the jab a little bit. I think if he does that a little bit more, if he just tightens himself up a little bit more, he can get a crafty decision here. Moving on to Aoriqileng versus Kasakura. Quileng coming off the Cody Haddon TKO loss. Aoriqileng is just kind of big, heavy-handed knockout artist. Kasakura coming off the camera and smothered him and win. Dude, all these guys were on the same card. Kasakura was on the same card as Aoriqileng. Perez versus Sumudaerji. Racer Ryu was on that card. Xiong, Jingnan, and Deng Ming. Dude, all these people were on the same fucking card. They're all was in Macau, I think. But moving back, this is gonna be a Asakura problem TKO. If they even get in the clinch, Asakura's fired off in the end. He's probably wrecking the body of Aoriqileng. It is worrying though, because Aoriqileng does crack. He does it decently hard. He was stinging fucking Cody Haddon well, but Asakura I think is maybe just a better striker than Cody. I think Cody has some decent boxing, but Asakura, when it comes down to well-roundedness of his game, he should be able to come out here, blitz Aoriqileng, find like a 1-2. Maybe he finds like a step in knee or something and hurts Quileng to the body. And yeah, it should be around 1 or 2 KO for Kai Asakura. So it would be to go on a streak. Yan Jianan versus Denise Gomez. Gomez coming off the Elise Reed KO. Wow, what a pull. Yeah, who knew that? Who knew about that KO? I just realized she's ranked 14, getting a top 4 matchup. Rough stuff. Why the fuck are they making this fight? I just realized. Denise Gomez can only be old women in her last 2. Like old, like some people's moms. She has decent boxing and like she has power. But she clearly hits harder than like even someone who's like shitty or dire. But she was able to get the KO in round 2. And even then that was kinda like a dragged out KO where she was kinda like grappling, if I remember. She was just like wasn't really hunting for the finish. She let the finish come to her. Yanja I know is decent though. She's like decently technical. She got like finished practically twice by Wei Li, but she's tough and she toughed it out. Denise Gomez isn't the grappler that Wei Li or Vernon Janaroba is, where I think she'll like be able to go to that or like dominate Jianan. I don't even remember if I watched the Richie fight. She can just clearly be Richie. I think she's gonna be the cleanest striker. She's not some old unranked woman who's like losing every fucking time they step in the cage. She's losing to like the best of the best, and she's looking decent when she comes out there. So I think both of these have been super active. I don't think Jianan has fought since the Vernon Generova fight, which was last year, and I don't think Denise Gomez has fought since like fucking 2025, maybe even 2024. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Yan Jianan by decision. I think she's gonna be a little too good. I don't know if she'll get a KO over someone as tough as and strong as Denise Gomez, but maybe she just shows levels and gets a finish. But I think she'll show levels and just get a decision. Moving on to Umar Nurmagomedov versus Song Yadong. Umar Nurmagomedov, we all know him. Great grappler. Has some decent kicks. Song Yadong, power boxer. Throws with full intent in every shot. Umar coming off what I believe a 2-fight win streak. Batista decision and Figgy. Song Yadong coming off the Figueiredo decision win. I'm so tempted to pick Song Yadong. I watched the Merab fight back. The low kicks were there for Merab. Merab was just winging in with right hands. And he was clipping Umar, and that's how he kept clipping him, just winging in with hooks and stuff, catching Umar. Umar did well. Umar fights like Islam a lot in ways, in like boxing, where they're both southpaw. When they both fight southpaw, they're really looking for that check hook. Really looking for that check hook. If you can bait it out, it leaves him open and you find the right hand, but then you'll just look for the hook again. He throws like these big, he looks for hooks when people are stepping against him. That's what he really tries to find. I could see Song Yadong stepping in with a big right hand, a winging right hand. He throws against fucking everybody. But I'll talk about what I think Umar could do to win, because he's most likely going to win. Because Song Yadong is incapable of being a top 5 opponent. Corey, he lost to Peter Yan, took to a very close performance. I'll talk about that fight in a second. And then O'Malley, I'll talk about that fight as well. I'll talk about it now. O'Malley did well stomping and with the front kicks against Yadong. He was timing well, even the knees. I don't think that's going to be here with Umar, because I think Umar's going to want the open stance. He really only shoots in open stance because the lead leg is there to get the single. And then maybe he can get the trip from there. So I think he's going to want to stay in southpaw. I don't think he's going to want to switch to orthodox just to find a knee. It could be there from the. He was able to land it on Merab, but he got that knee, I think, from southpaw as well. The front kicks are going to be there. The way Song Yadong plants and he just stands there, Umar could definitely flick and kick the body of Yadong. Even Figgy was finding some pretty strong body kicks. Umar can flick them up as well. The open stance body kick will be there. Even the lead side high kick, the way Song Yadong just kind of steps in, will leave him there. The grappling is super interesting because it doesn't feel like Yadong's grappling has really been tested in a while. He's defending takedowns against Figgy, but then at the end of the first, he got taken down. But it didn't feel like he tried fighting out of it. Because there wasn't a lot of time left. At the end of the second, he was defending the takedowns. In the second, he goes for a ghillie. He gets it, but I don't think if he goes for ghillies here, it's over. Because he's just gonna get fucking top. He's just gonna get he's just gonna give Umar top control. The left hand will be there for Umar. Song Yadong has a blockhead, so he can find his 1-2 that he likes to look for. Especially the 2. He finds the 2 a little bit more. Sometimes he'll miss with the jab, but the 2 will still find its way because he throws the 2 at a different angle. So I can see him catching Yadong over and over again. O'Malley was finding success in southpaw with the left hand. Even if Umar wants to shift in, you look for, maybe he'll feint the rear leg, then pop in with the 2-1 as he steps in. That could land. Figgy was looking for those shifting shots. I think O'Malley was doing well landing those shifting 1-2s. And yeah, I think there's a lot for Umar. The grappling, I don't really know. That's one thing I'll say. I don't know how the grappling is going to look here. Yadong. I'll talk about Yadong now. Yadong's going to have to look for low kicks. If he throws high kicks, Batista he defended a takedown once in the open After you found the high kick, landed with the knee, dropped Umar. But every time he threw any sort of high kick, he got it caught and he got taken down. He did well to scramble out of positions multiple times, but he stayed there. He still got controlled. He still lost the fight. I hope Song Yadong does not throw a high kick. He did it. That's how he ended up on bond. He didn't get taken down by Figgy in the first. He threw a high kick near the end of the round, slipped, and Figgy got top control. And he cannot do that here. He cannot do that here against Umar and risk him getting taken down with a high kick. I don't think he can do that. I think the right hands of his will be good here, especially the big winging overhands, because you could just step in with the big hooks over the top, and that's how Murad was clipping him over and over again. And I think when it comes to chins, Yadong has a way better chin. Maybe he has more scar tissue, but dude, he was fucking eating clean shots from O'Malley. Don't know how he ate some of those knees. Some of those twos, he just fucking eats it because he has a blockhead. Umar has power. Like, he definitely has pop. Like, he was cracking fucking Marab. But I think Marab's chin, like, he's more prone to getting stung and, like, with his fucking jaw and just chewing his mouth guard. But, Yadong could definitely step in with the overhand and with the lead hook. He really likes finding the right overhand. He was landing it on O'Malley a couple times. And he invests in the low kick. He loves an outside low kick against a southpaw opponent. I watched him versus O'Malley. I watched him versus Figgy. He loves an outside low kick. He rarely goes inside, but Murad was having success with the outside low kick against Umar. Umar will leave his kind of leg there to be chewed up. Song Yadong will find the inside low kick as well, though, if he wants. Like he did that against both O'Malley and Figgy. But he loves an outside low kick. Orthodox, obviously, he slams it because he's an orthodox fighter himself. And if he fights someone southpaw, he'll switch to that outside low kick. Umar can catch him though. Like if he just steps in with a two as Song Yadong, it leaves him so open for that with that open with the outside low kick, he could definitely get cracked by a cross or something and then get stung. So Song Yadong's gonna need to be careful doing that. But he finds good crosses. He's a good lead hook. Murad was catching Umar off the lead hook as well. I really look to that Murad fight. Because I think Yadong will be able to scramble. I think he'll be able to defend the takedowns as well. Figgy was defending takedowns off Umar. I think Yadong can. But what I'm worried about is the feet on the feet here. If Yadong doesn't let's say he doesn't throw any high kicks, doesn't get them caught, he's just defending regular takedowns, I think he can do it. He's not as small as Figgy, and he's probably stronger than Figgy as well. I should have even watched the Cejudo fight? No. Because he's just prone to getting jabbed. And Umar could really jab him up here and then find the two and then find the front kicks. And Yadong will sometimes fight at the pace of his opponent. In round two, he was fighting the pace of Figgy. He was pouring it on more. He was looking for big punches more. Dude, against O'Malley, I don't know what the fuck he was doing against O'Malley. I wish I was making videos at the beginning of this year. But I have no idea what he was doing against O'Malley. Like, really, what was he doing? He kind of he went in there with like a hoppy style. Maybe it was to like mix it up with the takedowns, like to make it seem less expected, but he really would bounce. He does bounce around here and there, but against O'Malley, he felt like he was just bouncing so much. He was bouncing with O'Malley. And that's what I worry about. Like, what if he goes out there and during the fight, he just fights at the pace of Umar. He's hopping there with him instead of pressing with low kicks and stuff. I like the open stance right hand because that's going to be a thing for both, but the right hands will be there for Yadong. Loves himself an overhand. Loves himself a cross as well, even though again, Piotr Jan, he was finding the crosses. And speaking of the Piotr Jan fight, something I wanted to bring up, especially when I watched it. That was such an underrated performance from Song Yadong. From Piotr Jan too, but from Yadong. I think that's his best performance he's had recently. Better than the Figgy, better than the Yadong, than the O'Malley one. O'Malley, you could argue he actually won, but I think he just looked technically better. The way he was looking for his own jab against Petr Yan, the way he was looking for uppercuts against Yan, he went with the pace of Yan. He went high volume. So when you do that, Yadong, if someone goes high volume with Yadong, he will go high volume. If they go low volume, he will kind of go follow them and just look for the big shot. He looked so good against Petr, but maybe it's down to Petr being not a mover. He's not a mover. I think Corey Sanders said this. He's planted. He's a very planted fighter, so allowed Yadong to find his own low kicks. Allowed Yadong to find his hooks and stuff and look to be in the pocket. Because Petr Yan moves, but when he punches, he's planted. When he stands there, he's planted. O'Malley's floaty. He's moving around like this. Figgy is moving. He's circling over and over again, switching stances. Yadong has an issue with cutting the cage as well. Even against Figgy, he kind of didn't do it. I think that's when you need to go inside low kick, because he kind of has trouble cutting someone off even in southpaw to his right. That's when you can find the right hand though, so that's gonna be open. And if they start circling to his left, he lets himself a left hook, and he can look for the left hook there. But they will just really like circle to his right and stuff, and to his left. Like he just has a lot of struggles of like cutting off to the right side. He just kind of lets him go. But he used the kicks well to diminish that, and the big right hand. I think he'll find the big right hand. He even landed on Figgy at some point. Figgy was eating shots, but Figgy has a chin. Like Figgy's eating shots. Like he's not getting. He got stung by Petr Yan, but he didn't get badly dropped. He didn't even get dropped. He was getting cracked over and over again, but no. Corey Sanders, it's not like Corey Sanders just dropped him a whole bunch. He was staying on the feet, but he didn't drop him. It was fine. Montel Jackson, I don't even think cracked him or dropped him. Umar didn't. They got like a little bit of a brawl. He looked for hooks, and Figgy fucking misses over or like a big right. And that's the thing with Figgy against Umar, super low output. He kind of just stared. He was just kind of really waiting for the takedowns. And then he did well to defend them, but he was so small that he eventually got tripped. So if Yadong gets an exchange, I could see him getting tripped by maybe Umar looking for the trip, but I think he'll be able to defend it. And so I think I'm going to pick Yadong. I think I'm going to pick Yadong. I didn't bring this up yet, but if you push a pace on Umar, he will gas. He was kind of gassing against Batista near the end of the third. Like you see him like visibly fucking tired. Like even in his post speech, he was like, I want to fight Merab. He's calling out Merab like death gassing against Merab. I know he had a broken hand. He was gassed. I thought he won. I thought he lost round 3. I thought Merab won the fight, but he was gassing. Lost 3, 4, and 5. Was getting tired. Really, the only 2 instances we've seen that Corey didn't push a pace against him. He fought at his pace. He didn't do anything at range. And in the scrambles, Corey did well to scramble, but then he would get stuck in a position and just not get out. And that allowed Umar just to camp him. Figgy got camped on. He just kind of got controlled. Wasn't let up. When you had Batista constantly scrambling, looking for subs off bottom, looking for leg locks, pushing the pace on the feet as well, pushing Umar back. Merab defending his takedowns. Going striking for strike against Umar. That's where you can make him tired, especially in a 5-rounder. I think that's where he'll get tired. If this was 3 rounds, I think I'd pick Umar a little bit confidently. But I think I'm going to trust in Yadong. It's hard to trust in Yadong, man, because he could just fumble this. But I don't see him getting finished. And I don't see him getting subbed. I can see him winning a decision here. Maybe a big decision where he's the one out damaging Umar. He gets big moments. Wins a 48-47 or something like that. Or I could see him just getting a late KO. He has late KOs against Ricky Simon. Obviously, Ricky Simon isn't fucking Umar Nurmagomedov, but that's still a finish he was able to find late. And Ricky Simon's not that bad. He's not on the level of Umar, but he's decent. And I don't know. Umar could front kick the face of Yadong, but Umar doesn't have the size of an O'Malley, where O'Malley's like popping him and being long. He's super long and lanky, and he's being able to get out of the ring. Umar is long. He has really lanky legs. That's why he's able to flick these kicks really nice. But he's not as long as O'Malley. I think he's going to cause issues with Yadong, but I think this is a good style for Yadong to get him in the top. Umar might just win. He might just probably win. But when I watch it, I'm like, I can see the openings for Yadong, the low kicks, the big right hands for him. I think he'll be able to defend the takedowns. And I think if this is going to be longer than 3 rounds, I can see Umar gassing with Yadong, trying to push a pace on him, scrambling with him. I think Umar will slow, and I think I can see Umar losing the last 2 rounds and maybe losing the second or something like that. Then in the third, he starts camping Yadong slips, or Yadong gets taken down after like looking for a big right hand, and Umar's just the perfect takedown. But round 2, Song Yadong hit all the big moments after losing the first, and then 2, 3, and 4, or 4 and 5, Umar's gassing, slowing down. Yadong's finding the big shots on him. He's got him wrong. He's just circling the cage. He's flicking the kicks, but Yadong's landing the big punches. I can see all that happening. So I'm gonna pick Yadong. I don't like the way he fights when someone's circling against him, but if he fights Umar like he fought Figgy and Jan, and he looks for the jab. He's not just floating around. He's planted. He's looking for the jab. He's looking for the big right hands. Even stepping elbows, I think you could find. That's something that he was doing pretty well against Jan. And he wasn't landing. That's because of the way Jan fights. He's slipping when he's making you land on your shoulders and stuff. So weirdly, I am going to pick Yadong. Just based off what I saw, I liked what I saw for Yadong. There's a lot of openings for Umar, but I think I need to pick Yadong. It's a big underdog. And it's probably not going to happen. These big underdogs in the main events lately have happened. It's like picking Guskov. I think like Usman were like, I think these were like similar odds, but I think Yadong matches up better because maybe he can't push the pace of a Merab, but he hits harder than Merab. He has similar physicality to Merab. He's a decently sized bandweight. So I think this could be really compared to Guskov versus Ankalaev in a way. Not similar match-wise at all, but in a way, southpaw. Can they find the big right hand? Can they low kick? I think that's stuff for Yadong, and I think Yadong does it better. I think his low kicks are better than Merab's. I think the way he hits harder than Merab because he puts a little bit more. Maybe he puts more intent in it, but the grabbing is where it's going to be an issue, I think. But I think I can see him scrambling. I don't see him getting subbed by Umar. Umar admitted that he's going to just control him for 25 minutes. So I guess we'll find out. Let me know in the comments below what do you guys think of this matchup. I think it's a sick main event. Obviously, it comes also with the thing where Song Yadong is just going to lose another top 5 opponent, but it's an interesting main event. It's a decent card. Not the best card. No shit. It's a pretty good card. Kaiser Kuro feature fight. Xiao versus Gomez. Perez versus Sumudaerji is not a bad fight, but then it's kind of filled with like debutants and dudes not even ranked. So yeah, it's not the best card, but it'll be entertaining. I'll be waking up at 3 in the morning for this. Let me know in the comments below who you guys got in the main event. Umar, Yadong. Let me know what you guys is most looking forward to fight on this card. Drop down in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter, jazzlovesmma. Like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you guys maybe on Saturday. I don't know if I'm going to have any videos planned for the rest of this week. I don't think I will. I'll have a tier list maybe for you guys for Sunday or Monday. But until then, catch you guys on Saturday. Peace.